John had no idea that a small act of kindness on a cold winter night would change the course of his life forever. When he saw a shivering young boy outside a diner, he made a choice, one that would come back to him in the most unexpected way. 50 years later. What he found in the letter left him in tears. Stay tuned for an unbelievable story of generosity, fate, and the power of kindness. John was an ordinary man, living a simple life. He worked as a mechanic, earned just enough to get by, and never thought of himself as special. But one rainy night in 1972, something happened that he would never forget. As he was leaving work, he noticed a small boy standing in the freezing cold, his clothes torn, his eyes filled with hunger. John hesitated for a moment, then approached him. "Hey kid, are you all right?" The boy nodded but didn't speak. His little hands clutched his stomach, and John realized he hadn't eaten in a while. Without thinking twice, John led him inside a small diner nearby. He ordered the biggest meal on the menu and watched as the boy devoured every bite. "Eat as much as you want, kid," John said with a smile. The boy looked up, tears in his eyes. "Thank you, sir. No one has ever done something like this for me before." John chuckled and ruffled the boy's hair. "Just promise me one thing, that one day, if you can, you'll help someone else in need." The boy nodded, and just like that, they parted ways. John never saw him again. Or so he thought. Decades passed. John grew older, settled down, and eventually retired. That night with the boy became just another distant memory, until one morning something unexpected happened. John was sipping his morning coffee when he noticed a letter in his pile of mail. The envelope looked different, thicker, elegant, with no return address. Curious, he opened it, and as he read the words inside, his hands began to shake. "Dear John, you may not remember me, but 50 years ago you saved a hungry little boy from the streets. That boy was me." John's breath caught in his throat. His eyes scanned the page, his heart pounding. "That night you didn't just give me food. You gave me hope. You made me believe that kindness still existed in the world. That belief pushed me to study hard, to never give up, and to dedicate my life to helping others." John wiped his eyes, unable to believe what he was reading. "I want you to know, John, that little boy you helped is now a doctor. For the past 30 years, I've been saving lives every day, and every time I help someone, I think of you." John's heart swelled with pride, but then he noticed something else inside the envelope. A plane ticket. A note was attached. "I'd love to thank you in person. If you're willing, come visit me. Your old friend, Dr. Michael Carter." John's mind raced. Michael Carter. That name sounded familiar. He rushed to his old television, switched on the news, and there he was. Dr. Michael Carter, one of the most respected heart surgeons in the country. John sat back, overwhelmed. The starving little boy he had helped all those years ago was now saving hundreds, maybe thousands of lives. Act 3. The Emotional Reunion. A week later, John stepped off a plane, his heart pounding. As he walked through the airport, he saw him, Dr. Michael Carter, the same boy he had once helped, now a successful man. Michael's face lit up as he rushed toward John. Without a word, he pulled him into a hug. "I can't believe it's really you," Michael said, his voice thick with emotion. John chuckled. "I should be saying that to you. You've done well for yourself, kid." Michael smiled. "Because of you. And now, I want to do something in return." He reached into his coat pocket and handed John another envelope. John hesitated before opening it. Inside was a check, a donation in his name to a children's charity. "I wanted to honor the way you changed my life, by helping other kids just like you helped me." Tears welled up in John's eyes. "You didn't have to do this," he whispered. Michael shook his head. You gave me a second chance at life. It's my turn to pass it on. John had never expected that one small act of kindness would come full circle, but standing there, looking at the man that little boy had become, he realized kindness has a way of echoing through time. Final message. John's story is proof that no good deed is ever wasted. You never know how one small act of kindness can change someone's life, and maybe even the world. So next time you see someone in need, ask yourself, what would you do? Because the kindness you show today could return to you in ways you never imagined. Call to action. If this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible real-life stories. See you in the next one.